What's up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. It's Wednesday, we're halfway through the week. Let's do this right with some stories out of r/self-improvement. Got some great success stories in here today that I am really excited to share with you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Our first story comes from user highest level 2019. How I went from rock bottom to the best version of myself. My story begins at the lowest point in my life. Once, I had a beautiful wife, a great dog, a nice house, and what I thought was a good marriage. Or one that was worth fighting for, at least. Then, one day, I woke up in a studio, which was supposed to be a temporary solution while we worked on things, and realized my wife, who I had been with for 10 years, was living with another man in my house with my dog. Basically, my entire reality came crashing down around me. My marriage and the life I thought I was living was a lie. With my entire world completely turned upside down, I was flailing to say the least. I was struggling to make it each day. Feeling completely destroyed, I decided that there was no point to the hell I was experiencing if I didn't somehow use being broken down as a chance to build myself back up better than what I used to be. I would also be lying if I didn't say that a part of my motivation was to prove that I was better than the guy to whom I'd lost my wife and my life. I threw myself into reading everything I could get my hands on, drew from philosophy and economics majors, analyzed my past, and reflected on the therapy I decided to receive, and decided the three most important things in life are health, wealth, and happiness. I figured if I could focus on these three things, I could become the best version of myself because no two meant anything without the third. Money and health are great, yeah, but if you're not happy, what's the point? Wealth and happiness are both fine, but what are they if you don't have the health to enjoy them? And health and happiness are wonderful, sure, but it's difficult to get them if you are stressed about money or can't give yourself the basics in life. In my disheveled state, we're dealing with the loss of my wife, getting over the pain of being cheated on, and trudging head down through a tempest of a divorce felt like an almost insurmountable burden to withstand each day. I needed something to give me actionable steps to get toward my goal of being the best person I could be. Since I couldn't find what I needed in the world, I created it. I created a 6-month program with daily workouts, weekly happiness assignments, and monthly tasks to improve my finances. I then created a 1-page worksheet to keep track of these tasks and score myself at the end of every month. This program, and the help of some wonderful family and friends, set me on the path to the person I've become today. It's been 8 years since my life fell apart. The life I have built and the person I have become in these last 8 years is 10 times what it was when I was 30. I have never been happier, healthier, and wealthier with no limit in sight. And the best part is, I've been able to share that journey with others. My program has improved over these last 8 years and will continue to evolve the more I learn. Also, people in my life who know my story either come to me when they hit rock bottom to help find the way out, or send me their loved ones who are in similar places. I'm not a psychologist or doctor and didn't pretend to know how to solve people's problems. I can only share my own experience, empathize with them, and show them the path that I made for myself. Whether you're at rock bottom or just looking to take your life to the next level, find out what's important in life. Make a plan, follow it, track your progress, and then share it with others. If you do that, you can't lose. Best of luck to you all. The sky's the limit. OP, that's actually a very inspiring story. I mean, it sucks that you went through all of that, yeah, but you've at least recovered. And what's more, you're taking that story and you're using it to help other people that are going through their own rough times. That is a very noble thing to do. That is very admirable to be able to help other people through the hells that they might be living. And honestly, it sounds like, as much as it sucked at the time, everything that happened to you that's led you to where you are now seems to have worked out for the best. You wouldn't be this person today if you were still in that marriage. And yet, like you said, you've never been happier, healthier, or wealthier than ever before. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing. You've got so very much to be proud of, and you do just prove there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is always a hope for a better tomorrow. if you're just willing to put in the work at it. Again, thank you so much for sharing, and wherever you're at, I wish you the best. Our next post is from user Just Some Otaku. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit happy. It's been 2 years of self-improvement for me almost, and I feel like I'm a different person completely. First, I'm no longer afraid to be authentic around others and show off who I am, and I rarely lie unless I find it necessary. This frees up a lot of mental space so I can deal with other things in real time rather than try to keep up a thread of lies. People also respect me more because my word is gold. 2, I'm starting to develop boundaries and be assertive. I ask for what I want/need, and I call others out when they're crossing a line or trying to pressure me to do something. Even with sociopaths/narcissists, I can now hold my own. 3, I still care what people think subconsciously, but it's way less than before. Now, if someone gives me the aux cord and says, "Don't disappoint me," instead of getting afraid of disappointing them, I tease them by saying, "Geez, nice way to throw pressure on someone," and the group tends to laugh. Then, I play what I want, regardless of the reaction. I also have a stronger sense of self and don't need as much validation from others to feed my own self-conception. However, this is still a work in progress, and I do still slip up or trip up at times when I'm caught off guard and notice myself justifying when I don't have to. 4, I'm way less self-conscious and more grounded in the moment. As an introvert, there's still times where I'll zoom out or lose focus when I'm tired or spent. But for the most part, I can flow in conversations, free flow what's on my mind, and stay tuned to the other person. I give laser eye contact and I actually actively listen to others. I also allow others to make their judgments about me rather than try to assume what they'll judge about me. I no longer preemptively try to explain myself and address judgments about me in conversations because it comes off as insecure and overthinking. 5, I can finally read body language and give off confident body language to a high precision. I know what it means to both look outwardly confident and feel confident, and so even when I'm feeling down, I can emulate confidence without coming off as purposefully trying to. I move slower and react to others in my own frame and at my own pace. I can also read people instantly if they're confident or not, vulnerable, prideful, or insecure, somewhat attracted to me or at least curious, stressed, faking it, etc. This is useful when a friend is feeling bad, because I can read them, and I can support them in how they're feeling rather than just throw random advice and tick them off. 6, I know exactly what emotion I'm feeling when I'm feeling it, along with what caused it and how intense it is. With this awareness, I'm able to consciously choose how I want to act when I'm feeling a certain way, and also what my likes/dislikes are. The only exceptions are when I'm feeling super anxious or angry, in which case I take action accordingly to deal with those emotions ASAP, because otherwise they'll overflow. Example, at the gym or meditating. I also validate my emotions like a parent would a child, leading to better self-acceptance. 7, I have a better idea of my strengths and weaknesses, and so it's easier now to know what action to take next. I'm also aware of my fears and insecurities, and so I know when my actions are based off of them and can react accordingly. 8, I actually take action now instead of just complaining to others about my problems. Instead of being needy or sucking value from others, I keep my problems to myself and handle them on my own really well. I can also make decisions for helping myself without fear of stigma, whether that means therapy or other methods. 9, I have hobbies now, writing and music. I'm even thinking of incorporating my hobbies together with what I'm focusing on right now, programming, and making a side project and trying to run a startup. I still procrastinate a lot though. 10, I lost a lot of weight. I went from 260 pounds to 180 pounds just from eating slowly and exercising once in a while. 11, I have a much better fashion sense and knowledge about what makes people attractive. I know what looks good for my face and my body type. I also know how others perceive me based on how I look, along with which guys or girls I see on a daily basis, or just in general are more attractive. The funny thing is, I never knew this before. I thought that the jawline being the main reason for attractiveness was an inside joke on the internet. But now, I understand the importance of facial symmetry and jawliness. why people grow beards and do other things with their faces, why certain body types are preferred, and other info along those lines. It's opened my eyes to a lot. The same applies to fashion, but this is still a work in progress. 12. I can read people's personalities better and choose accordingly how to best communicate with them. I basically categorize people into general archetypes, and that makes it easier to interact with them. So if I'm aware that someone is more hands-on, extroverted, and a feeler, I know that they'd have more fun being invited to an event outside, like maybe a party or the gym. I'll also speak to their feelings more. If I'm with an introvert who is more theory-based and logical, they'd probably enjoy watching a movie or just sitting and talking while indoors. They'd also probably appreciate practical advice/info more. Finally, I'm becoming more aware of my own values, so I'm less influenced by others. Although I like to think critically and have logical values, I'm starting to realize that morality is subjective. Sure, suffering is considered bad by most people, but this isn't the absolute decider for one's own moral system. So now, I just follow my own wants/needs/intuition for my morals and do what feels right to me. Thankfully, what feels right to me also makes sense to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to do it. This kind of ties back to boundaries and understanding your feelings. I've learned that just reading theory doesn't do much because you have no practical comparison. You'll still have all the problems even if you know advanced theory about why they're there and even how to best fix them. Action is best. What did I do to get to this point? Read hundreds of self-improvement books and watched thousands of self-improvement videos of all genres: disciplines, social skills, laws of power, life coaching, seduction, creativity, spirituality/religion, philosophy, business, attractiveness, fashion, MBTI, etc. Took psychedelics and accepted possible death. Got into risky situations where all I could do was accept the situation and hold my own hand to get out. Mindfully meditated, hit the gym, ate more mindfully, focused on and tried hobbies, observed people, and got outside and socialized outside of my comfort zone, probably thousands of times by now, and tested theories in real life, then returned to get advice before going back and experimenting in real life. What are my next steps? Well, group conversations and business networking. I'll go back to the conversation basics and relearn about threading and improv. Finding my people, those who I vibe with the most. Getting better at approaching the opposite sex and authority figures. Becoming more disciplined and procrastinating less with my own goals, and mastering a hobby, and eventually bringing others into that reality so I'm not always the follower in groups. Fine-tuning my personality quirks and turning into a type of person that people can relate to so I can channel from that archetype, both in terms of personality and my look. Truly cementing my self-image and being outcome dependent when it comes to validation from others. Example, even when being judged, still being able to hold my own even when it's awkward. Getting better at conversations so I'm not as overwhelmed by extroverts. Comparing myself to only myself. Improving my fashion sense even more, and realizing that even though I feel like I'm hanging out with others, I shouldn't forget that they're hanging out with me too. I bring something to the table or else I wouldn't be hanging out with these guys. So I need to figure out what that is and maximize my value. This also applies to my skills when it comes to work, to identify what makes me unique and maximize that. I might also look into reading micro-expressions during interactions and stopping any sort of self-justifying at all. My business goal involves sales and social skills, so I might branch my social skills self-development into sales as well and create a system that connects it all together. For persuasion, I'll learn the art of sales/closing, NLP, frame control, and the art of persuasion. Well, OP, you have certainly done a lot in 2 years to change who you are. That's an incredible journey of transformation and self-reflection on just where you could improve, and what's more is that you've documented all of it. You're just another example that it is possible to change who you are, that it is possible to become someone better. It just takes work, it just takes determination, and you can find the things that you need to do to make yourself and make your life even better, so that one day you can help others do the same. Thank you so much for sharing the things that you found out about yourself and your journey here and what your future goals are. I'll say you've definitely given me a few things to consider about myself and things to start looking at improving. So thank you again so much for sharing, and wherever you're at, I really do wish you the best. That was r/self-improvement, and if you want more stories of people taking steps to improve their lives for the better, then go ahead and check out the playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.